2 months later, and I'm sitting with a bit of a problem. I have gotten into riding around town quite a bit, using the smaller streets, using the narrow streets, and I think I overestimated just how hard it was going to be for me to actually get used to just riding on the bike. After the first like 2 to 3 weeks where I really struggled to get used to it and like really get accustomed to not having a car around me and actually just flowing through traffic a bit more, I actually got really comfortable. But there's still one obstacle that really terrifies me, and we're tackling that today. That's right. Today we are going to be riding on the highway for the first time. I have done highway speeds before exactly once, when I had to take a trip through to the neighboring suburb, which was really interesting. It's something that hits your chest quite a bit different, but there's also a very specific thrill attached to it. But one of the things that's been scaring me the most about potentially riding on the highway is the amount of cars that surround you. See, I've come to realize that just riding around in the city, it's actually fairly easy. There's at most 2 lanes of traffic that you need to worry about, except of course for oncoming traffic. But on the highway, you're dealing with at least 3 to 5 lanes, and that's a lot of cars when you're only riding a bike. Not to mention trucks that have gusts of wind and all that kind of jazz. It's all attached to a significant speed. With all that being said, we've got the gear, we've got the bike, it's a lovely day, and I think all that's left to do is to actually try and tackle it.
So I have no idea how this is actually going to sound like, because I'm trying a new audio setup. Plan for today's ride: stopping to fill up the baby, the trusty CF Moto MK300, and then hitting the road, I suppose. Hitting the highway for the first time ever. That's kind of scary, if you actually think about it. That's kind of the plan. Let's hope that it all goes accordingly. So this bit of road I'm mildly comfortable with. And that doesn't mean what lies ahead isn't still daunting. Also, I should have probably worn earplugs. Judging by my previous experience. Ooh. So make sure it's traffic. Don't mind if I do. This is what I was saying, it's like I kind of gotten used to like riding. Like you get used to taking chances like this a little bit more often. The only trick with that is, if you do that, you better not end up stalling when you, because then it's very embarrassing for everyone involved. And also, one thing that I have realized is I really need to work on rev matching on my downshift. 200NK has a slipper clutch to kind of like help and assist with that, which helps a lot. You've got a slipper clutch, which means like I don't have to focus on it as intently, which like as a new rider is honestly amazing. It really does go a long way. Yeah, we've got about 2 turns now and then we're on the highway. I don't know if I'm ready for this. Right, but right here I'm going to get down a little bit and see through here. Last little stretch before we hit open highway. Luckily, it looks like it's a nice quiet down on the highway, so we should be fine. On the open highway! Oh my gosh, this is an experience. Woo, that's exhilarating. Water rush. Oh yeah, that was intense, man. I kind of wanted to adjust my grip because I felt like there was too much leeway on the throttle and I really had to like put my arm down to like get on the throttle properly. Turns out the 300 can do highway speeds just fine. 12 seconds. If anything, it can do over highway speeds just fine. So the general problem that I found with riding lately, but this kind of riding is fine. in town and city. Like, it comes quite easily, actually. If you've driven a car for quite a long period of time, as I have, you can get used to it fairly easily. I am aware though that some of the more low speed stuff, like garages and that kind of stuff, where you kind of need to be a bit more aware of the throttle control and stuff like that. That gets quite interesting. That was interesting. That was really, really interesting. It's like, it's quite a thrill to get on there, but then also I feel like I need to adjust the position of my brake levers to be a little bit more forward, so I can start from a further angle forward, so I can actually like rev my wrist out more, because I feel like at one point like I was really like having to get down low with my wrist in order to get up to speed. But very, very interesting. A lot of cars, so many cars, but good as a whole. I think we just chilled out a little bit, and now we're gonna head back, and then we're gonna kind of like recap the entire situation. I feel like it comes extremely naturally to me to do these kinds of things, because I've been driving for so long, so it's not as much of a jump into the complete unknown. And I feel like that the same rules kind of apply on the highway as they do in city driving, where you're driving kind of for everyone, which is a little bit stupid, but it also makes sense. But yeah, a lot of fun, really, really good. Would recommend. I'll probably end up doing a lot more trips on the highway from here on. I might even get roped into doing a ride with some of my buddies sometime soon, and doing like a bit more of a long trip. Now let's head on home and kind of cap all of this off. Honestly, I don't like filtering that much. Like a lot of the time when I'm just driving in the city, I'll actually choose not to filter a lot of the time. Should have probably taken the more scenic route on the way home. But today is all about doing a highway. So we'll do that again. We'll get back on the highway. Alright, let's go. And that is wrong! Having no wind protection is insane! Woo! It also gives you a bit more of an idea of actually just like how fast cars are actually going on the highway. Most people are clocking like at least according to my speedo, they're clocking at least 130. It's really quite something, I'm not gonna lie.
Sure. So that was very, very interesting. I really thoroughly enjoyed it though. It's quite something to experience for the first time. The second time round, like on the way there, I was kind of drafting behind a lot of cars on the way there, so like the wind resistance wasn't as bad. But on the way back, I actually like tried to make a point of it to like not stay behind cars, and damn, wind hits different at 120, 130 k's an hour. Also, just seeing how fast cars actually travel, like most cars generally, because according to my speedo, most cars on the highway was doing at least like 130. Mildly concerning when the speed limit is supposed to be 120, but that's beside the point. So really, really interesting. Everything happens really fast. Wind resistance, a lot of noise. I need to ride with the earplugs next time, otherwise my hearing is going to be shot. And just generally being very, very, very aware, because like there's so many cars and there's so many lanes that you need to keep track of. But it's really good. It's a lot of fun. I'm probably going to do more of this. I'm probably going to plan rides with friends to other places. I do need to adjust my levers though, just to like not have to crank it all the way. And I can see how it might be like a little bit easier or better to kind of get tucked up into the sports position. I did it a little bit, but also just like Neck strength is a big thing, actually. Like every time I try to like check my blind spot for cars, like I could literally feel how the wind starts hitting my head, which was really interesting as well. But that was my first experience on the highway. And it's a new skill that I'm glad I'm busy learning and that I'm getting used to, because honestly, as much as I do love the concept of learning slow speed maneuvers in a parking lot, and I do think they're really important and I do still practice those on a day-to-day basis with the amount of riding that I do, it doesn't come into practice that much. Like if anything, it only comes into practice when I'm pulling into the gate at home or when I maybe sometimes go to the gym on the bike. But for the most part, it really doesn't have that big of an impact, really. Highway riding, a lot of fun, would recommend. Would want more wind protection, or at least a different bike form, maybe, because feeling all of that like right on your chest, hectic. But yeah, thanks so much for coming along on this journey, following through on it. This is episode 2 of Rikus Rider. We're slowly but surely getting there. We're getting more comfortable with being on 2 wheels, and I'm thoroughly enjoying the journey. And I hope to see you guys with the next one. Cheers.